Hello everyone, my name is James T. Clement and welcome to another exciting episode of my reaction and review show. So a little bit about me, I've been doing narrative film for 38 years now, also a U.S. Army veteran, and I taught film at Full Sail University for right around 3 years. So what do we do here at this show that's a little bit different than other reaction and review shows is I look at these films through the prism of having been a narrative filmmaker for so very long. And then the other thing that I do that is a catch is that I do not do mainstream movies. I have no interest in mainstream movies. There are plenty of people doing reviews and reactions of mainstream movies, so if that's what you're interested in, I would recommend going and checking out one of those channels. What we do here is independent films. Filmmakers that are, as I am discovering, exceptionally talented but can't catch a break. Work outside the Hollywood system and generally are, in some cases, very unknown. This is something that really makes me sad, as I am also a narrative filmmaker who works outside of the Hollywood system. So what I want to do with this show is hopefully introduce these people and their work to more of an audience. Let people go see their work, appreciate it, and possibly even become supporters of those. And if I'm lucky, maybe I can pick up a few of those folks for the movies that I do as well. Okay, so today's film is called Back to Yesterday. Now this is exciting. It's a Star Trek fan film production, so I'm looking forward to checking this out. It's by a channel called Power 543 Fan Films. That sounds like a channel that's going to have some other movies that I need to check out. So we are definitely going to go and check out that. And then finally, the director is Samuel Cockings. So we are going to get into this here now. Joining me and working the mouse for me today is going to be Corvette. Hey man, what's up? You ready? You ready? Okay. I think he's ready. So we are going to get into Back to Yesterday right now. Definitely going to have to keep the volume low here because this is obviously music that the copyright princesses will come down on me for.
To Darnus Prime to assist in negotiations. Their political factions are making such talks more challenging than originally expected.
So is this a dreadnought? It has 3 nacelles.
Some time, but believes a more direct Starfleet presence will assist.
Successfully.
These negotiations.
This must be some kind of special ship because I'm seeing 2 sets of impulse engines and 3 warp nacelles. So this one here must be built to be a beast.
Davis to bridge.
Foley here.
Sir, the transporter system reads something unexpected in the buffer.
Okay, so we're going with the original series look for this. That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward. I saw another fan film the other day that was Star Trek. It looks like they took from kind of the Star Trek 2 and 3 era of uniforms. I'm looking forward to checking that one out too.
Aye, sir. Davis out.
Alright, so what I'm seeing right now is basically what you see in the original series. The sets look pretty good, and the effects look like they're supposed to. Wait a minute. This guy's out of time.
Strange uniform.
Back to Yesterday. There you go. There's the title.
Foley class.
Foley class? What year is it?
2270.
Oh dear.
Davis to Commander Galloway. We have a situation. Report transport.
We're off to a Star Trek start here, guys. What can I say? This is kind of a Star Trek thing to happen. A little bit whimsical, too. That ship looks like it could, like, cause some damage.
I'll be heading home soon. I hope.
Your uniform.
So this guy is from even beyond the Next Generation era, based on the badge.
I take it your Starfleet?
Could be.
From the future?
What gave it away?
The tricorder.
Now, we'll say that from a standpoint of where the eye lines are, based on where I saw everybody earlier and now where I'm seeing people, the guy who just came through the portal, at least in my head, looks like, if the guy he's talking to is right here, it looks like he's looking over here and talking. I don't think that that was intended, so I'm just letting you know that that's the impression that I'm getting from it.
I know it's not exactly a rule yet, but in my time, we have this thing called the Temporal Prime Directive. Things you hear can't leave this room or risk future contamination.
That's no fun. The stories of Kirk and the Enterprise, all their travels to Earth's past. And I have to miss out?
It really was a different time.
I'm imagining that kind of pulling costumes and stuff together for something like this would be, comparatively speaking, relatively easy, just based on the fact there's such a massive Star Trek audience. And, you know, these folks go all out, you know, getting these costumes and outfits that they have.
Not what I was expecting.
Really, just forget I was ever here.
Might be in front of a green screen
You're
here,
human.
actually, rather than a
Last I
set.
checked.
But I'm not reading any of the markers for someone born on Earth.
But generally
again,
speaking, if
one
that
of
is
these
the
on
case,
Luna.
the composite's good. The only reason that I even
I guess
remotely
the
noticed was
2500s.
the character traveling through
25,
time had
43
moved
to
his
be
hand in a
exact.
certain way, and just the way that it
Not
was
quite. Then again,
going around his
I can
hands
tell you
kind
for
of did look
correct
like it
anyway.
was composited. So I'm not really sure.
I recognize you,
I guess you could do it either
Galloway.
way.
right?
Yes, I'm Commander Lee Galloway. Am I famous where you're from?
Of a
Well,
sort.
Galloway's tall
I
compared to this
met one of
guy.
your descendants on the Indianapolis, and we studied you at the academy.
Really? Not that interesting. My work, perhaps.
Actanus 9. It's something we learn about. A
Yeah,
moral lesson.
this is definitely
That
Star
makes more
Trek-ish. I mean, Star Trek was
And the deal
already
that is
always
still
kind of
with me.
cerebral and
Even to this
straightforward. You know, if you see stuff like
I
the
won't
Wrath
speak
of Khan,
precisely
that's
to how
actually
the
the
future
exception
sees
to the
those
rule.
events.
You know, just straight up
But the Galloway
combat. It
conundrum,
seemed most of the time
something we've
with
learned
Star
from.
Trek, it's all about,
You made your mark, Mr. Galloway.
you know, what they can do with their intelligence and their science and all the rest
Hunter,
of it.
Go ahead.
Captain Hunter, the Takan structure. It's working again.
Takan.
Temporal Prime Directive. Sorry. Can you beam me back?
Not without a signal boost. Where are you?
Can you increase power to the pattern buffers? Beam me to these coordinates.
I think I can do that.
It's kind of
Something
strange
after
that
Captain
you
Foley's
have the
orders.
ability
I'm the ranking
to use a
officer
regular
here.
transporter and
At
use it
least
as a time
this time.
displacement thing.
success.
That's interesting.
Yes, sir. Targeting sensors have found the rift. Locking on.
Thank you. Dauntless? Looks like I'm ready
Yeah,
to
I think
go on
this is
end.
shot in front of a green
Standing
screen
by,
because
Captain.
when he moved, there was a little bit of an
Well,
outline.
this is
Yeah,
fun.
but that's
Time for
fine.
me to
I mean,
go.
whatever, that's fine. Sci-fi, that's
To
an
the
easy way to
future.
do it, or one way to do it. Just put everything in front of a
present.
green screen. Look, I've worked
So
as
a
a
matter of
production designer,
perspective.
guys, and building good
it
sets
is.
costs money. And if you don't have
Really?
the money to spend on it, then you just don't have the money to
voyages
spend
to
on it.
you
It's not a big
and
deal.
your
You
crew.
do what you can.
Our best to the future. Energize.
And he's out of here. Wonder if we'll get to go forward in time now and see where he went. About to find out. Yeah, looks like it. So we're in the future now. That ship looks like if the War of the Worlds movie, like the
place like
top of the
home.
tripods, the
Where did you go,
look it
sir?
had, that's what this
We
starship looked like
had
to
a
me.
hard time picking up your signal.
As my friend Reed would say, just some time travel shenanigans.
Can't avoid it. Can you, sir?
I just go where the wind takes me. And right now, I feel a call down to that planet. Those Takan ruins have far more going on than we expected. This is gonna
Generally
be fun.
speaking, if this is all composited, it's pretty well done. I mean, I've only seen a couple of occasions in motion where it kind of looked like maybe I was looking at a green screen composite. So for the most part, great work on that to your team, Samuel. I don't know. I'm not crazy about that design. Looks a little top heavy, like it just roll over on me. Alright, Prodigy Season 3 Netflix. Wonder if that is it. Okay. So, alright, cool. Well, listen. I mean, it's a Star Trek film. It very much was Star Trek. There was nothing about that that did not seem Star Trek to me. Therefore, I'm going to give it a win on that one. So, generally speaking, let's talk about the compositions. Really what's going on here is that Samuel and his team were trying to recreate what we've seen in the original Star Trek shows. And honestly, if you're going to do something like this, that's the right thing to do. You don't, like, I've got my own style of lighting when I shoot stuff, but I would not use it necessarily in a Star Trek thing. It might work in a scene with the Borg or something like that, but you know, generally speaking, I think that everything was done the right way, though. The compositions looked right, the lighting was nice and even, just like it was back in the days of the show. The one question I would have, I thought that the one guy that came in and was talking to the time traveler might have been a doctor. I'm not really sure. Maybe he was the captain. And if that is the case, I'm not sure why he was wearing a blue shirt rather than a gold one. But whatever. I may be totally wrong, and he's not the captain. Because you got to keep in mind, as I'm sitting here watching this and talking about it, the second I start talking, sometimes I might miss something in the film. And I try to make the first time I ever see this as I'm watching it with you. But generally speaking, it was what it was supposed to be and did what it was supposed to do. It's a Star Trek film and felt very Star Trek. Not a particular fan of the design of the ship from the future, but that's neither here nor there. That's just a personal preference or whatever. Scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give this a 6.5. I did enjoy it. And Samuel, I think you guys did good. I'm definitely going to check out the channel, see what else you've got there. All right, guys. Well, that's about all for this particular episode. Overall, this was, I think, a worthy production, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from this team. I do want to take a quick second before we say goodbye to invite you over to our YouTube channel, jamestclementfilm, and check out our newest narrative film, scpketer. It is right there at the very top of our channel, so it should be something very easy for you to click on and check out. If you would, we'd appreciate it if you just take a minute to go check that out. We are working on a part 2 right now, and by the time that I've released this, we probably already have the crowdfunding effort going to try to pay for it, because we're going to be doing that very shortly. But at the time of recording this video, you know, that's what I'm saying. Between this moment and the moment I do that, we'll have probably done that by the time you see this that I'm doing now, if that makes sense. Okay, so for right now, guys, that's all I've got for you. Come check out scpketer, and definitely go check out Power 543 Fan Films. I'm going to check out their channel and see what else they got. Give them a subscribe, leave them loving comments, tell all your friends, all the rest of it. And for now, we will say goodbye and see you next time.